for an experience like no other from the creators of the Cheap Seats podcast. This is FF PodSquad. We're bringing you fantasy football like never before. This is fantasy for fans by fans, featuring the soon-to-be famous PodSquad Soundoff. Now, here's your tour guide for this fantasy adventure, the fantasy guru himself, the big man, Aaron Spillman.
What is going on, guys? Welcome in. I am the big man, Aaron Spillman. This is FF PodSquad. It is a beautiful Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, and we are glad you could be here with us, guys. This is everything you guys are going to need getting ready for Thursday night football and week 6 in the NFL fantasy football. Before we get started, guys, I want to take the time, as always, last week, and I'll do it again this week. I want to tell you guys about my friends with the Treat Gaming app. As you guys know, I'm a big advocate for it. I'm a dog lover. So, guys, you guys need to be downloading this app and playing the game and helping these shelter dogs out. It's the shelter dogs for me that gets it going. You know, I mean, we're helping them out, and you're sending free treats to them. So, you know, go out and download the Treat Gaming app. All right, guys. My next guest, my special guest co-host for this week, she is a card-carrying member of the PodSquad community. She is one of the best fantasy football players that I know. She's the only fantasy football player that I've seen go undefeated throughout the season. And just like her Patriots fell off in the tournament. So let's hear it for the pigskin princess herself, Abby Barton.
Hello.
What's up, Abby? I'm glad you could be with us.
I'm glad you had me.
A lot of you people don't know. Some of you people do, but me and Abby go way back. We've been knowing each other for probably at least 35 years, if not longer.
The very least, yeah.
We've known each other's families. We grew up in the same hometown. Your aunt, right? Your Aunt Robin?
Yes.
Yeah, your aunt lived right next door to my grandmother, and then later on, right next door to my aunt and uncle. And a lot of my family lived right around in that same neighborhood, so we knew each other growing up.
Yep.
Anyways, I'm glad you can be here. Thanks for coming in with us and being our special guest co-host. So far, how's your fantasy season going?
You know, considering that I missed the draft for the Guru,
Okay.
it's
Right.
better than I expected.
You're welcome, by the way. I traded you Patrick Mahomes, and I did sell off Ladd McConkey, but I hope Ladd. I got high hopes for Ladd. He's still, it's still early in the season. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, so this week, what we do each week, I don't know if you've seen the show or not, but we start out with the fantasy 4-pack each week, and then we get into something that I like to call PodSquad Soundoff, where I invite the PodSquad community, anybody in the fantasy community really, to come on the show. And we're going to do things a little bit different. Each week during the PodSquad Soundoff, We've been doing our love and hate for each position, this and that. We're going to do things a little bit different since I'm not getting a very good response as far as people coming on the show. I'm this week we're going to try something different. So guys, stick around for that. I think you guys will really enjoy it, and I think it'll be received very well to you guys. So with that in mind, though, let's get into our fantasy four pack, Abby.
All right.
My first question: how are you viewing AJ Brown for this matchup and the rest of the season, for that matter?
I'm not viewing him very well. I know he's an elite player, but I don't think I think there's a little bit of attitude going on. I don't know why he's not getting more. I don't know if it's because Hurts can't throw the ball more. I don't know what's going on there, but he's kind of iffy for the rest of the season, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you said, he is an elite talent. He showed last year he was one of the best. Something's just not right. I don't know if it's the offensive play call. We take that into consideration as well. The play calling, it is a new offensive coordinator. But really, this team is a run-heavy, run-first offense. And they have a running quarterback who is, in my opinion, average to maybe above average passer, but he's an elite runner, and Jalen Hurts. And I think that's part of the problem. So I guess my second question is, which I agree with you on the first question. My second question is, do you think Philly will shop him around and possibly trade him before the deadline or at the end of the year?
I don't know if they will before the deadline, but I would definitely think they would by the end of the year. I think they would.
I do think Howie Roseman, he's one of the best GMs in all of football. I do think he'll listen to anybody. I think anybody is available for the right price. But I agree with you. I tend to agree. I don't think he'll be traded in season. I'm not sure if he'll be traded before the NFL draft in the offseason, unless he tries to force his way out, which that very well could be.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's an attitude thing going on too.
Right.
He's on the sideline, reads his book.
And I don't have a problem with him reading a book if that's giving him extra motivation, but I have a problem with it, and it's not a problem when you're winning ball games, but I do have a problem with it when it's affecting your play. If it is affecting your play, and I'm not saying that it is, I think it's a combination of everything, and I just don't think he's a good fit for this offense.
No.
All right, well, so we'll get on. So what kind of game do you expect from Jackson Dart, and for the rest of the season for that matter?
This makes me smile because I like Jackson Dart. I really do.
He's got a little Baker Mayfield in him a little bit.
I like his moxie. I just like him. So I really hope they can get something going with him.
Yeah, it's going to be hard with Malik Neighbors out. But I do think there's a lot of other players on that team that need to step up and can step up. Hint, hint, Cam Scattaboo. Hint, hint, Wandale Robinson, Theo Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, they have the roster. They have the roster to do it. They just need to do it. I'm not going to say that they have the roster, but Jackson Dart, fantasy speaking, he should be pretty valuable, I think.
a lot of their games, I think they're going to be playing from behind. So he's going to, they're going to be passing the ball a lot. And plus, with the added mobility that he adds to the game, should really affect him. You know, he could be a top 15 fantasy player, I think, rest of the season.
Lineups.
Okay. All right. What do you think we'll see the Giants trade Russell Wilson in the season?
Maybe. I don't really know what to do with Russell Wilson.
You know, I sit here and think about it, and like, you know, I think what team would he be good with? What team would want him? You know, what team needs him? Cincinnati's, as of right now, they're out of the equation, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit. But I can't help but wonder, like, is Minnesota really in with Carson Wentz as their backup? And if not, and if JJ McCarthy is going to be out longer, even possibly the whole season, Minnesota to me like makes a lot of sense and would be a perfect fit for Russell, in my opinion.
I can see it. I can see it because I just can't think of anywhere. I can't think of anything else to do with Russell. And you know, to be fair, I'm not a fan. So it's hard.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think Minnesota would be good for him. I
All right.
Maybe retirement.
Yeah, he's definitely creeping up there. He definitely is. Last question in a fantasy 4-pack, and then we're going to get into Soundoff. Who are you most excited to watch in this game, and who do you think scores the most fantasy points in this game?
My mind just went blank. We're talking about the Giants game, right?
Too many vitamins. Yeah, we're talking about the Giants and the Eagles.
I am excited about Jackson Dart. I'm excited to watch him play. I like him. I like Scatabo. I
love Scatabo.
There's real potential with just their moxie. You know, what they put off.
They may not win a whole lot of games this year, but this ought to be a pretty fun team to watch anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they may not, but they're building.
I'm gonna.
That they could.
Who do you think? Go ahead. Who do you think gets the most fantasy points between the two teams?
I am actually going to go with Giants. I think they're going to.
All right.
The Jackson.
No, I mean who? Jackson. You think Jackson Dart's going to be the leading guy with the most fantasy points in this game?
Yeah, because I think they're probably going to have to play from behind. They're going to have to do a lot of scrambling. Hopefully. Yeah,
I can see that. I'm going to, this is, Dustin, the Bluegrass Beard, was my guest last week. Mm-hmm. And he's right. Thursday night games tend to be weird. You look last Thursday, we knew that Christian McCaffrey and Puka Nacua were going to, get theirs. And we knew Devontae Adams would get his. But like one of the unsung heroes, Kendrick Bourne, last week, he had one of the biggest fantasy games. And Dustin said it, guys just come out of nowhere on Thursday night football. So with that said, my Thursday night pick between the two is going to be Devontae Smith. I think he's the fantasy leader in this game. I think he has a career game.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it for Fantasy 4-pack. So we'll get into PodSquad Soundoff now. This is your guys' cue. If you guys still want to come in, you're more than welcome to come in. But this week we're doing something a little different since we can't get anybody to come in during PodSquad Soundoff. We got quite a few viewers here watching right now, and none of them want to come in. The link's in the comments, guys, by the way. So don't be scared to come in. But with that said, anyways, like I said, we're doing something a little bit different. This week, instead of me waiting on people to come in, I just went through the Pod Squad community, the fantasy community, and took questions from the Pod Squad community from squad members. And we're going to do that here in just a little bit. But to start off with, Abby, we got to give out our game balls for week 5. So let me hear it. Who gets your game ball for week 5 in the NFL fantasy?
Oh, you picked the perfect week for me. You know who my game ball is. It's going to be May and May Diggs together. They can share it.
Okay, I'll give it to you. I think it's kind of funny and ironic that the one person in the world that I've ever met to go undefeated in a fantasy football season, a 12-team season, might I add, people, and she gets knocked out in the playoffs. It's only poetic that you are a Patriots fan.
Yep. Undefeated season until the playoffs. Second round.
Yep. And the Patriots lost the Super Bowl in their undefeated season.
But yeah.
Damn.
That was such a fun game. Oh, I enjoyed it. Yes. Drake.
That was a great game. And what's crazy? And I don't think Drake May, did he have any touchdown passes? I don't think he did. But he had rushing touchdowns.
Well, I will tell you, playing wise, Stephon Diggs really stepped up. Drake threw some just absolute terrific passes.
Yes, he did.
On the side, and it would maybe give Diggs the ball a little bit more is the way he really hyped the team up. I mean, he was absolutely wonderful. The whole.
I agree. This was a kind of a revenge game for Diggs, anyways, going back against Buffalo. So I don't blame him. But going forward, do you think Diggs is somebody viable in fantasy?
I mean, maybe if you have somebody out on bye. I'm scared about they're still a very young team. I know Diggs is not, but May is still very young.
Yeah. Drake May is great. I got him across a lot of leagues in my in fantasy.
I just don't know, I would want to see another game or two and see.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm gonna go ahead and give out my game ball, and I'll let you know who the Pod Squad community picked. My game ball was Rico Dowdle. I mean, nobody expected Rico Dowdle, even if he was on a great team. Nobody expected him to rush for over 200 yards.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, he only had one touchdown to go with it, but I mean, 200 yards from Rico Dowdle, that's just killer to me. Just very unexpected, and so he's very deserving, in my opinion. And that wasn't
a fun game to watch too.
Yes, it was. Okay, so the Pod Squad community, there's actually two that tie here. Emeka Ibuka, and boy, isn't he turning it on this year.
He sure is.
Emeka Ibuka had 7 receptions for 163 yards and 1 touchdown. That vote came from our very own special contributor to the show, James Everidge. And the other candidate, Jake Ferguson, who had 7 receptions for 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. And I'll just say that came from Mr. Bluegrass Beard.
They're all really good picks. I mean, it was a really good week for football.
And I'll tell you, Jake Ferguson, as of late, he's been on a tear, and he's in PPR format right now. He's the number 1 tight end in fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So we're done with that one. So no, actually we're not. But I remember though, who is your number 1 fantasy waiver pickup going into week 6?
I don't know. I'd probably try for Michael Carter.
Michael Carter, the running back for Arizona.
Mason Taylor, if I needed a tight end.
Yeah, I like Mason Taylor. If you're weak at tight end, Mason Taylor is definitely somebody that you would want to look at. Michael Carter, I picked him up last week, actually, so he may not be available. Yeah. My big pickup of going into week 6, if you haven't already gotten him, Hussein Haskins. And I'll even throw in honorable mention to Manny Vidal. The Chargers lost Amari and Hampton to an injury. He's due to go to the injured reserve this week, so he'll be out at least 4 games. I would pick up Haskins, possibly even Vidal, see what happens with one of them, see what they do. And other than that, maybe start trending Ladd McConkey and those other receivers up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they may pass the ball a little bit more.
Yeah. Do you see them picking one of their backs more like, I think it's going to be more joint. I don't know that anybody's going to get the ball heavily.
I don't know. I think it just depends on the game. I think maybe like going into the game, you might see a running back by committee, which would probably be in reality would be the smart thing to do. But if one of them starts getting hot, and you lean on the hot hand, you might get games where Haskins, goes off. And I like Haskins. One of the things I like about him is he already knows Jim Harbaugh. He knows this offense, as does Vidal as well. This is his 2nd year in the offense. But he's, he played at Michigan as well, Haskins has. So he knows Harbaugh and he knows the system. So, and I think Harbaugh would trust them more than Vidal at this rate.
Right.
All right. I threw out my paper. I can't remember who the PodSquad community picked. I think it was Darnell Mooney. He's coming back from injury, and he has been on the waiver wire. He would be a nice pickup for the rest of the season. I'm not quite sure if he would be great for this week going against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's been ranked 8th against wide receivers this year. But they have been suspect going against the number 2 wide receiver. So there might be a little light at the end of the tunnel there. So if you have to pick him up and start him, good luck. But I wouldn't. All right, Abby, this is something different. Like I said at the beginning of Soundoff, these are questions from the PodSquad fantasy community. So we're going to start it off. We put this question in here, number 1, because you are a Patriots fan. Will the Patriots lean more towards giving Travion Henderson more touches and overtake Ramondre Stevenson with the continued fumbles and in light of Antonio Gibson being out for the rest of the year?
Now, if you ask if I would, absolutely give Henderson some more touches.
Would
But
you make him the full-time starter?
at this point, with Gibson out and Stevenson dropping and fumbling the ball so much, I probably would.
I think I would.
If
Go ahead.
not, I would at least heavily lean towards him more.
Maybe like him be 60-40.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Stevenson. I don't know. The coach and the team seems to really like him. I don't know what's going on with the Butterhands, though. I mean, he's got to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, these fumbles issues have been dating back for the last 2 years. I'm not sure what the problem is, but if he don't get it corrected soon, we should see Travion Henderson toting that rock a lot. I do think that Henderson is a better running back, and I've said this and I've argued this with plenty of people that he's a better running back in tandem. So I would like to see Ramondre or going forward, dynasty wise, next year, if the Patriots would draft another running back that would be more suitable, like a Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah.
But I think he's better in tandem. One of the reasons is he's so good in the passing game. He's a great pass blocker. He's a great pass catcher. Travion Henderson, I'm talking about. And you could actually have him on the field with Ramondre at the same time. And I don't know what the Patriots are doing and why they don't do that.
Yeah, I don't either. One of the many questions.
I mean,
I know Rabel seems to really be loyal to Ramondre right now. So,
and I think Vrabel likes Henderson. I think he had a front row seat to see Henderson. I mean, he's an alumni at Ohio State, so
right.
He's probably got the inside scoop. But I think it's only a matter of time. I think one of the biggest problems is Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, could be.
But it's still early in the it's early in the year, so I need to practice this myself because I'm going to preach it here. And everybody, it's week 5. We need to express a little more patience with some of these guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get on to question number 2. Is Kendrick Bourne worth picking up on waivers, or do you think last week's burst was just a one-game boom?
Well, I don't really know. I'm tending to more like a one-game boom, maybe 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of there with you on that. I'm not going to say that we won't see any more relevant games this year from Kendrick Bourne. Injuries happening. But I think some of these guys, Pearsall, Ayuk, George Kittle, I think some of these guys are due to be back.
Yeah, when they come back, it's going to be no, he's not going to.
And as we've seen last week, Christian McCaffrey is crazy involved in the pass game.
Mm-hmm.
A little stat I was looking up, not in fantasy, just overall stats. Christian McCaffrey is in the top 10 in receiving yards and receptions, regardless of position. And he's a freaking running back.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
Healthy,
Yeah, if he stays healthy. Right now, he has more receiving yards than he does rushing yards. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get on to also the Kendrick Bourne thing. I'm going to go with. I agree with you. I don't think he. I'm not going to say he's a one and done, but I wouldn't pick him up unless I absolutely had to.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
All right, number 3 comes from the Pod Squad community. I was offered T. Higgins for Lad McConkey in PPR format. Should I do this trade?
Mm-mm.
What do you think, Abby?
I
You
would.
wouldn't?
I like McConkey, and there's too much unrest, unsureness of the Bengals. Like Joe Flacco didn't really do anything in Cleveland, and the O line and the Bengals couldn't protect Joe
Yeah,
Burrow and
right.
Flacco 40. So
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see on the whole Bengal thing, and we'll get to that. That's actually a question that we'll talk about here in a minute. Um, Me personally, what I said about patience, I think Lad McConkey's one of them. Drake London was one of them for me, and Lad as well. Um, and I know Lad, you got him on your team as well. Just practice a little patience. We seen a little glimmer last week. I think he's due to have a big game, but I think when it's all said and done, he'll still finish as at least a wide receiver 2 this year.
yeah,
I think maybe he was being overdrafted, and people were thinking, myself included, that he was going to be that guy. And like I said, it's still early, and he may still be that guy, but it looks like he's got a lot of competition with it.
yeah. I mean,
Target.
other targets too that are really good. Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen looks like he's turned back the clock, and
Mm,
Quentin Johnson looks like he's finally realizing his potential, and he's a touchdown machine.
yeah.
All right, number 4. We're only going to do 5 questions. Number 4, like I said about the Cincinnati Bengals, is Chase Brown droppable? I'm thinking of picking up Stephon Diggs. You're a Patriots fan, so you can go ahead and use bias if you'd like. But what are your thoughts? Would you,
I don't know if I drop Brown and pick up Diggs. I have Diggs in a league and I have Brown in a league. And they're both on the bench and I can't bring myself to get rid of either one of them. So I don't that's really hard. Like I said with the Bengals, you don't know how if I was going to drop one, if I had to drop one, it would probably be Brown at this point.
okay, okay.
Had to drop one.
Okay. I don't think that I would drop Brown to pick up Diggs, me personally. I like Diggs. If I could drop somebody else for Diggs, I would. Um, I would at least give it a game or two, see what Flacco does to help them out. Flacco, one of his strengths, which is going to be hard for the offensive line, is his long ball, but he's also a crafty veteran. So you got to think he might be able to get the ball out a little quicker. He might be a little bit more accurate, especially on balls downfield. Um, so I want to see if he could get the ball downfield some. That might open up some, lanes, some running lanes for Brown. So, we might see something. I would practice at least 1 or 2 games, practice patience with Brown.
Yeah, I'd keep him on the bench and see what happens.
Agreed, agreed. I wouldn't start him. Um, and for that matter, also, how do you view T. Higgins and Chase as well? While we're talking about it,
Well, if Joe Flacco comes in and is Joe Flacco, that
cool,
we've seen
Joe.
in the past, it means big things for Chase or for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins both because he
All
is
3 of them.
capable. Absolutely, he is capable of hitting down the field, screen passes, everything. but he has those games. And then you have, like I
Right.
said, the Cincinnati O-line,
Yeah.
are they going to be able to protect him? He's 40. He's not
Yeah.
as quick as he was.
I mean, they can't protect Joe Burrow, so what makes you think they'll protect Joe Flacco? So
Right.
I gotta say I agree with you on that one. All right, number 5, and this one kind of threw me off a little bit. Um, Former King Henry is killing my team right now. I'm trying to trade him, but nobody wants him. What should I do?
Sit on him. It's going to get better. We're only in game 5.
Yeah, practice patience, guys.
I would
I
not
would.
consider trading him off unless I had so many injuries I needed other players. I mean, he is elite as elite gets in running backs.
I would trade him if I got the right value. Don't get me wrong, but I want like comparable value as of right now. This is just like you said. We're only 5 games in, and if you look at it, yes, he has um, been down a little bit. This whole Baltimore team has. Lamar has. This defense looks atrocious. So just give it time with Henry. We may not see that knocking on the door of 2,000 yards, but I can still see a 1,500-yard season.
Yeah, like I said, even if they're sucking still.
Right now, he's only, right now he's the running back 24. That's still good enough for in 12-team format to be RB2.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's all the questions. Now we're going to get into who would you rather start for week 6. We're going to start off. We're going to ask you. I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you my pick. I want to hear your pick, and then I'm going to give you the Pod Squad community percentages. Starting off, who would you rather start in week 6? Matthew Stafford at Baltimore or Justin Herbert at Miami?
Really, honestly, I think you could probably start either one of them, but I like the Rams, so I'll go Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, both of them are actually good starts on paper. Miami's defense against quarterbacks sucked. Baltimore's defense overall this year, nobody, they're not scaring anybody. So I agree with you. I picked Stafford. The Pod Squad community agrees with us. 66 votes at 72% goes to Matthew Stafford, to 24 votes at 28% to Justin Herbert. Next up, Daniel Jones versus Arizona or Justin Fields versus Denver.
I'm going to go Danny Dimes. Seriously.
All right. Yeah.
I'm high on him right now. I don't particularly like the Colts, but I'm riding this one out.
Danny Dimes is looking pretty good. And I'll say this, Arizona's defense scares me a lot less than Denver's defense.
Absolutely.
And Justin Fields can have those stinker games. Just a few weeks ago before he got injured, like a 3-point game. I think he got injured in that game. Justin Fields, his legs is what helps him, but that's also what helps Danny Dimes. I agree with you, Danny Dimes. The Pod Squad community agrees with you. 75% of the votes went to Daniel Jones. That's 25%. That was 6 votes for Danny Dimes and only 2 votes for Justin Field. Not a whole lot of votes in this one. All right, next up, Cam Scattaboo versus Philadelphia or Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Bill Krosky versus Chicago. Who you got? Who would you rather start this week?
What now? I don't know. Probably Crosby.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with Scatterboo. I think he still has a game. I know Philadelphia's defensive line is really tough, but I think with them going up, we could see Scatterboo involved in the pass game. But yeah, JCM, Krofsky, Merritt has a really great matchup, and the Pod Squad community agrees with you, Abby. 69 votes, a whopping 66%, and to 35 votes,
That was a hard
34%.
one for me because, like I said, I love the moxie of Scatterbone.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why I took that pick. All right, next one. This is kind of one that I definitely wanted in here. These are a couple waiver guys that we talked about. Hassan Haskins at Miami or Michael Carter at Indianapolis.
I don't know. Ray Michael Carter.
All right. Well, the Pod Squad community agrees with you. I picked Haskins myself, but the Pod Squad community agrees with you. 31 votes, 72% to 13 votes to 28%. Number 5, Xavier Worthy going against versus Detroit or Chris Olave versus New England.
Chris Love or what? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again?
Xavier Worthy. Who would you rather start? Xavier Worthy versus Detroit or Chris Olave versus New England?
I'm going to say Chris Olave probably. I mean,
Okay.
Xavier Worthy. I don't know. I don't like the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, aside from the fact that we have Kickstand Kelsey back in the game now.
Yeah, Kickstand Kelsey.
Kickstand Kelsey.
What was that story you heard about Taylor Swift? You got to tell it real quick. What was about the redwoods?
I'm probably the oldest Swiftie in the world, but I'm a Swiftie. So her
album. My goodness.
I am. Her album dropped this week, and on the album is a song called Wood.
Okay.
And she's singing about, and she refers to it as a redwood tree. As we know, redwood trees are awful big.
Yeah.
So I now call him Kickstand Kelsey.
Kickstand Kelsey. I love it. I love it. I wish a girl would come up with a name like that for me.
Right? I mean, what's he doing? She's writing whole songs about it. So
yeah, I mean, crap. Yeah. What's he doing? I mean, crap. The most I ever get is laughed at and said, "What are you going to do with that?"
Right?
Or get that away from me.
Well, I ain't ever had any that I wanted to write a song about. So
yeah, okay. All right. Let's get back with the show. Keep it PG-13 rated at least. All right. Who would you rather start this week? Quentin Johnston at Miami or George Pickens at Carolina?
Oh, you can start either of them. Probably George Pickens at Carolina.
Really? Carolina's been one of the staunchest defenses this year so far, going against quarterbacks and receivers. Can't believe you picked Quinshon Johnston, but the Pod Squad community agrees with you. I don't. I picked Quinshon Johnston, but the Pod Squad community, 18 votes, 72% agrees with you to 7 votes, 22% says Johnston. Next up.
I'm going to be real honest only because I think that there's a lot of other people, but there's more. My mind just went blank. I'm sorry. There's
too many vitamins.
Yeah. There's not as many options, I don't feel, for Cowboys. So I think Pickens would get more receptions where
All right.
There's Keenan
All right.
Allen, there's Judson, and then they're not playing a really tough defense. So who's his go-to guy? Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen's gonna get the majority.
Okay. It's all right to be wrong sometimes. I agree. It's okay. All right. All right. Number 7. Who would you rather start? Ted McMillan versus Dallas or AJ Brown at New York Giants?
No. McMillan.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ted McMillan. The Pod Squad community agrees with you. A whopping 115 votes agree with both of us. 76%. It's 35 votes for AJ Brown. I think there's a chance that we see both of these guys go off this week. With all the crap being talked about with AJ Brown, with all the dramas, I could see Thursday night football prime time, the Philadelphia Eagles make it a point for AJ Brown to be really involved, which he already is. He's getting the targets. He's just not being very efficient with them right now.
Right.
But I agree with you and the Pod Squad community. 76% of you guys. All right. Next up, Tucker Kraft versus Cincinnati, or your boy Hunter Henry at New Orleans.
You know what? I'm going Tucker Kraft. And I like Hunter Henry, but I like Tucker Kraft too. And historically, the Patriots struggle against New Orleans. New Orleans defense had Tom Brady's number, Patriots number way back then. So I'm going to go with Tucker Kraft.
Okay. All right. I agree with you, Tucker Kraft. I think anybody going against Cincinnati's defense, for that matter, right now, I would take in fantasy. Hunter Henry, I like, though. For the rest of the year, I like him. Number 9, old man Darren Waller versus the Chargers, or Kyle Pitts Sr. versus Buffalo.
I'm going Darren Waller.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool insert. Oh, real quick, before we get to the Darren Waller pick, tell you what the percentages were with the last ones. The Pod Squad community agrees with both of us, with Tucker Kraft, a 73% with 17 votes, and 3 votes with Hunter Henry. You said Darren Waller. I agree. And so does the Pod Squad community. 88%, 22 votes to 3, 12% for Kyle Pitts. And finally, number 10, who would you rather start? The Browns special teams and defense at Pittsburgh, or the Patriots defense and special teams at New Orleans?
You know what? I'm going to go Browns. The Browns and Pittsburgh game is always tough. The defenses usually always come out to play. And yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns.
I mean, if we're just talking defense, yeah, I would definitely go Browns. I don't think any team in the NFL can really run that well against Cleveland. And I don't trust Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball downfield. So I think Cleveland's defense is going to smother them. I actually agree with you. The Pod Squad community disagrees. They think Patriots at New Orleans is the better pick, with 29 votes at 88% to 4 votes at 12%.
I watched the Browns Pittsburgh games, and it's a hard game, and the defenses come out. Now I'm going to stick with the Browns.
Any of those division games like that are going to be tough. And, like I told you, I'll tell the Pod Squad community, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. All right, guys. Abby, it's been a pleasure. Stick around real quick. I'm going to give everybody one player I love for week 6 and one player I hate. And then we're going to real quick update everybody on our FF Pod Squad Chopped League. But real quick, one player I love this week, Tony Pollard at Las Vegas. Las Vegas can't stop nothing. And one player I hate, Kyler Murray / Jacoby Brissett at Indianapolis. Indianapolis got a really tough defense. Now, to what everybody's been waiting for, or what I've been waiting for, so I could talk a little crap, even though I'm out of it. The FF Pod Squad Chop League Fantasy Update. Here to start it out, guys. As you can see, our most recent victim, Miss Pigskin Princess herself. Abby, I gotta ask, how did you like that league? Even though you've been
I loved
chopped.
it. The chopped league, I loved. I wouldn't have been chopped if the buys wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good players that went into waivers this week.
Like I said, like I told Dustin last week, I'm not a very good starter. I'm always a really good finisher. So this league was not suitable for me. As you can see, I was 3 weeks in, I was out. Yeah, this league has been fun to watch. I'm really intrigued to see who who the other teams, once it gets down to the final 8, the final 4, who everybody has, what everybody's doing with their fab money, how, what kind of strategy are they using? Are they saving it? I see a couple people didn't spend any of their money yet, and I've seen other people like Dustin after this week, he's got $200 left. I've seen other people have like next to nothing left. Myself, I spent money
with my fab money, but and I think I would probably be a little bit more, because if you can hang on there, you're going to start getting the real, like for Bucky Irving and Josh Jacobs went in waivers. If you hang on to some of that money, you're going to be unstoppable if you can hang on.
I agree. My biggest problem was I drafted guys who, like I said, I was a late starter. The guys I drafted were like their owner, late starters as well. Lad McConkey, Drake London, and a no starter, Chase Brown. But yeah, like you said, this has been enjoyable. I hope you keep up with it, even though you're chopped. I hope I'm not saying, check it every day or every week, but, check and see who's doing what. I mean, it's just been enjoyable to watch. I hope next year. I hope next year you are definitely more than welcome to come back in the league, and we will definitely have more spots open. It's been fun.
Absolutely.
All right, Abby, we are at the end of our show now. That was the last thing. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad that you could come on and shoot the bull and give us your fantasy expertise.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, I watch a lot of, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fantasy. I enjoy our leagues. I enjoy I enjoy the fellows in our leagues and wish maybe a female out there that would like to enjoy and also join the
agree.
Pod Squad.
Yeah, agreed. Again, Abby, thank you again so much. I'm going to take you out and I'm going to get out of here and we're going to close down the show. But again, thank you, Abby. We love you. Peace out.
See ya.
All right, guys. It has been a pleasure. I want to thank everybody that contributed to tonight's show. It's been great, guys. I'm having fun doing this. The show's going to get better. Bear with me. They're going to be going through some growing pains and some slight changes each week when I come up with something new. So just bear with me, guys. But again, until next week, guys, it's nothing personal. It's a fantasy thing.
Come join us next week and get in on the fun. Find us on Facebook at Fantasy Football PodSquad, the group page, to be part of the show. And follow us on X at Squad1 at FF PodSquad. Like us and follow us on TikTok at FF PodSquad1. Until next week, remember, nothing personal. It's a fantasy thing.